Tell me once my screen is visible. Yeah, just 1 second. Keeping the camera on is compulsory in the class. Okay, along with that, 1 hour before the session I usually confirm the class.
Fun.
Okay, so make
Yes.
sure you message from your side also, just to know how many students are joining, and so that's how I can plan my sessions. Okay,
Yes.
and as you know, I am Susmita.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have already gone through my.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I have done.
Yes, great. So the unit 2 that we have, it's called what do you do? Okay, that means when we ask about someone's profession, we ask the question what do you do?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now again, most of the times I'll be speaking in English. If you do not understand anything, you can ask me for repetition, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, now the first thing that we have over here is the 6 part-time jobs that students take up. Okay, I want you guys to read the jobs one by one. Prasad and Nikhil, I want you guys to read the jobs one by one. Dr. Nikhil, you can read the first three, and Prasad, you can read the next three. You can start.
Usher, tutor,
Mm-hmm.
team assistant.
Okay, very good. Prasad, you are on mute, Prasad.
Yeah, caregiver, server, and fitness instructor.
Very good. What?
Caregiver, okay.
Caregiver. Yeah. Now, what do we mean by usher? Usher is the person whom you might have usually seen in a theater. They help us with the tickets. They look at our tickets and then they have
Yes.
that torch. वो torch दिखा के हमें बताते हैं ना कि हमारे seat कहाँ पर है. Of course,
Mhm.
nowadays we have digital tickets, so we don't have. We have ushers. They exist, but they are not very proactive. They usually help us only with 3D glasses when we go to theaters. So those people are called ushers. Okay, then tutors, of course we know tutors teach according to their subject expertise. Then we have team assistants. Team assistants are the people who helps coaches and sports teams. Okay, caregiver is a bit different than nurse. Caregiver is the person who only helps senior citizens to take care of them, to make sure they have taken their medicines, they have eaten their food on time, and just to help them out with whatever they need. Nurses are a bit different. In India, of course, we don't have caregivers very easily, but we have nurses which we reach out to, whom we reach out to. Then we have server. Server is nothing but a waiter, what we call in India. Okay, they help us with taking our orders and helping us with the food items in the restaurant. And then we have a fitness instructor. Now, if you observe, these are some of the part-time jobs that students take up. Now, you might have a question that in India, students don't usually work, correct? But when you go to a foreign country, which Prasad is going to go in future, when you go to a foreign country, once you enter the university, most of the students take up some kind of a part-time job. Now
For
there are
internship,
various,
right?
not for internship, for pocket
Like
money.
co-internship, I think.
It depends from
Uh,
university to university. It depends from country to country also. But mostly they take it up to support their parents for their college fund sometimes. Sometimes just for extra pocket money if they belong from a good family, a well-off family, and if nothing else, if not even for pocket money, then just for the exposure to how the work environment is, what are the things that we are supposed to take care once we start working. So once we graduate and when we enter the corporate or any company, it's not new to us. Okay, now of course there are some benefits over there that they get. That first thing is the minimum wages are actually good over there, so the income that they get even from this part-time job from these part-time jobs, it might be more than what we get after working full-time also over years sometimes. Okay, so that's one benefit that I would say. And of course they are able to take care of their college funds, they are able to take care of their rent and everything else also. And one more thing which you might observe in foreign universities or foreign students is, once they enter the university, they leave their homes, and usually once they start working they don't go back. That's one more thing that you might come across over there. Okay, of course it's getting common in India also now, because we don't work in the same city that we are staying in. But again, there are people who stay in metros also, metro cities also. So we stay at home and then we work. So it's not observed over there very much. Again, one more thing, that if you observe, all these jobs that students can take up over here are the jobs which don't need a lot of expertise, okay, which don't need any kind of certifications, any kind of degrees as such. It totally depends on their expertise and their liking, we could say. Right now, I want you guys to tell me, mainly Prasad and Dr. Nikhil, which jobs are easy and which are difficult according to you, from the ones which are given on the screen, and why do you feel that?
Tutor's job is very easy
Okay. Okay. Why do you think that?
because people those who are coming, uh,
Uh-huh.
coming to us, they don't know anything about that. So we can
Oh
teach
my.
whatever,
Okay.
and they will not be asking much question, and there is
Okay.
no much efforts there.
Okay. Okay. And Prasad, what about you? What do you think? Which
Uh,
jobs are
you, sh-
easy?
you sure, right? You
Usher.
sure.
Usher.
Usher. Because in that job, I just I just need to guide to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only one work I need to do there, no?
Okay,
So that's
guide
why.
people. Okay. Okay. And which jobs are difficult according to you too?
Fitness instructor because
Uh-huh.
first I
Caregiver is
need to
very,
learn.
very tough job. Caregiver, it is very tough.
Yeah. So if you ask me, according to me, no jobs are easy and no jobs are difficult. When you're teaching someone, you need a lot of patience. If they don't understand something, for example, if you guys don't understand anything, I'll explain it 10 times. So if we don't have that much patience, again, it's kind of a disadvantage, I would say. And along with that, you need to have a hold, or we can say expertise, over the subject that you are teaching. For example, if I ask you guys to teach me English now, it might be a bit difficult for you guys. Right?
Yes,
So, or if you guys ask me to teach you science, it might be difficult for me because I don't know anything about science. So that is something that again becomes a point in tutor's job, I would say. If I talk about usher, if you know, the usher needs to be standing the whole time. You have to stand for 8 to 9 hours, whatever your job duration is. You need to be very proactive. Sometimes the theaters are full, the person needs to be very very active so that he is helping everyone over there, correct?
yes,
So that's one more thing I would say. So again, the way you said, of course, caregiver's job is also a bit difficult because you really need to be patient with senior citizens. Again, they are not very they're not very mature sometimes. They
yeah,
get cranky just like children. So yes, again, fitness instructor, you nowadays, of course, you need a license in India, at least that's what I know,
mm,
to become a
mm,
fitness instructor. You can't just go ahead and teach without a license. And of course, along with that, you also need to be fit. That is what is required, I would say. Okay, same goes for server also need to be servers also need to be very proactive. And they can't sit. Have you ever seen any restaurant person sitting anytime? I have not. वो हमेशा खड़े रहते हैं, and I have taught them also. So that's the main complaint that they have, that my my feet are always killing me. Yes. Now, next point, what's your opinion, are these good jobs for students?
Yeah.
Yes.
yes, yes. Here,
Yes, ma'am.
no skills are required. Anyone can do this job. You have to just follow some basic.
No, no, no. Skills required, man.
Where?
Certifications and degrees are not
Ah,
required.
yeah,
That's why they
yes,
become easy as a part-time
But
job.
basic skill
Of
you
course,
need to
ah,
require,
people
no? Like
skills.
how to talk with peoples.
Yes.
So you sure means you need to talk with the peoples in like very politely. Then only they will
yes,
respect us, no?
yes, yes,
Exactly, that's the main thing that we need for any kind of job we do. Communication skills
Hmm.
are something that we cannot skip as far as we are doing a desk job, I would say. But again, there also you need to interact with your colleagues. It's not easy. You need to interact with your boss again. So
yes.
that's what. Now, what are some other jobs that students can take up according to you guys?
Sorry, ma'am. What is?
What are some other jobs that students can
Okay.
take up? The
Okay.
ones which are not given over here. The ones which are not given over here. Some other ones.
Hmm.
Nowadays people are taking this delivery boy job
Mm-hmm.
and
Bartender.
Bartender also, you need to know
to
alcohol over there. You need to know what are the mixtures that you're going to put if you become a bartender. Of course, there are categories in bartenders also, but I have some friends who are professional bartenders. They need to know everything
Because
that
one of
goes
my
in.
friends, he is right now in here, US, I think,
Mm-hmm.
actually. So he is doing 20 hours in a week as a
Okay.
bartender. So he's getting in Indian, it's 90,000 rupees.
Yeah, of course, I told you, minimum wages are actually good over there. It's much
Mm.
higher than what we get after working full time also over here. Yeah. So,
Professor help you just how I can say,
mm-hmm.
because in university there is one job.
Mm-hmm.
So professor
Assistant
just
for a professor.
assistant of professor, yes.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You get many jobs over there. There are so many jobs that we might have not heard also. Now,
Mhm.
many universities, of course, in foreign countries, they give you jobs on the campus itself so that you don't need to go anywhere else because you're staying on the campus, so it becomes easier for you if you're working over there itself. But sometimes some universities in some countries again they allow you to work outside, but if you're working outside, then of course there are limitations on the hours that you can put in. You might be allowed only to work 2 hours or 3 hours in a day.
In a week you just need to work it 20 hours, like
20 hours
they are
including
allowed. And
vacations.
US they are not allowed to work outside from university.
Yes, that's what. Okay, great. Moving to the next part that we have over here. This is a vocabulary exercise. It's an easy exercise. You guys can just do it for your home assignment. You just have to put the words or the professions which are given over here, the jobs which are given over here, into the categories. Okay, you have the first category which is entertainment business, then you have travel industry, then you have office work, and then you have food service. Food service is what we call hospitality in India also. Okay, so the jobs are given over here which are very easy. Just put them into the correct categories. Only thing that you need to know over here is the pronunciation of this word. It's chef. Okay, chef, sure hai to. It's not chef. Okay, understood? Okay, and this is tour guide. Tour guide. Okay, moving to the next part. Here you have an easy exercise again. There are some parts of sentences given in jumble format. You just need to match them in a correct way and rewrite them in your notebook. Okay, while you rewrite them in your notebook, also observe how the sentences have been formed, because that is what we are going to learn in today's session, how to frame our sentences in simple present tense. Now, in India, most of the times, the tense that we love is present continuous tense, which is the ing form that we use always. Correct? Now, ing form cannot be used every time while speaking. There are some other tenses which we need to use while speaking. So that's what we are going to look at today, but with the help of a conversation. Okay? Quickly do this exercise. Tell me once you're done.
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
can I leave this class? I have finished this with this
Yes,
chapter.
yes, you can, you can. No problem.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. Done with this exercise?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Now, first three sentences, Prasad, you tell me, and then the last three sentences, Dr. Nikhil, you can tell me.
Okay. A chef cooks food in a
A chef,
restaurant.
a chef, chef.
A chef.
Hmm.
A mechanic. Uh,
A
a
mechanic.
mechanic fixes car.
Cars,
Fixes car in a garage.
very good.
A carpenter house for a
Builds,
construction
builds.
company.
There is an S.
Houses
Hmm.
builds houses for a construction company.
Very good. Nikhil, are you there? I guess he dropped off. There might be some network issue. Okay, Prasad, continue.
A reporter
Writes. S नको
writes
skip करो. Writes.
writes stories
Hmm.
uh, for a newspaper.
Very good. Last one, Nikhil.
Uh, she is a nurse
Okay.
in a hospital.
Okay. We lost your voice in between. No problem. A nurse cares for patients in a hospital.
Shall I repeat it?
Yeah, or you can break down the sentence also. Both the ways are
Hmm.
correct over here. But if you observe, how, this is how we make the sentences in simple present tense, and that's what we are going to look at today. But before that, we have a quick conversation over here, which we are going to look at, so it becomes easier for us to understand the grammar part that we are looking at and how we make mistakes in them. Okay. Now, Prasad and Nikhil, I want you guys to read the conversation loudly. Prasad, you can be Jason, and Dr. Nikhil, you can be Andrea.
Andrea. Okay.
Okay. So, Jason, where do you work, Andrea?
I work at Thomas Cook Travel.
Oh, really? What do you do there?
I am a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America like Peru.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, it's a great job. I really love it. And what do you do, Jason?
Oh, I'm student. I have a part-time job too.
Two.
Where do you work?
In a fast food restaurant,
Which restaurant?
Hamburg Heaven.
Hamburger heaven. Hamburger
Hamburger
heaven.
Heaven.
Hamburger.
Okay, very good. Now the conversation is pretty easy. They both are talking about their jobs. Correct. First, Andrea says that she works in a Thomas Cook travel company and she is a guide. She takes people on tours to countries in South America like Peru. And then she asks Jason what he does. So he says he is a student and he has a part time job too. So she asks, where do you work? He says, in a fast food restaurant called Hamburger Heaven. Okay, now when we read this conversation, one rule that becomes important for us for voice and accent part, voice and accent, it is a kind of pronunciation rules that we go through where we learn the actual pronunciations of English. Okay, now why we need to learn that? Because when we are speaking in English, whatever native language that we have or mother tongue that we have, it has some kind of an influence on our English. Okay, for example, I'll just give an example which we Maharashtrians usually read like, I work at Thomas Cook Travel. Correct. Now we pronounce that word as work,
Work.
Yeah.
right? But the actual pronunciation of it would be, I work at Thomas Cook Travel. Okay, this is a common mistake that we do, that we pronounce our letters, we stress on them basically. Okay, we stress on our consonants, we try to make sure that every word or every letter over here is pronounced with lot of stress. Now that is not the truth when we speak in English. Usually the consonants that we have will not have a lot of stress the way we stress it in our mother tongue, Marathi. Nikhil, you are also Marathi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way we stress it in Marathi, it will not be the same in English. Our consonants have a very slight pronunciation. Okay. Now this is something that we are going to like how to pronounce our consonants properly. to reduce our mother tongue influence is something that we are going to look at in future sessions. But right now, something that we are going to work upon is the letter R. Okay, now this is a common mistake that we do, and that's what highlights our mother tongue influence whenever we are speaking, I would say. The letter R, if we are using it in a word, sometimes it will be silent and sometimes it will be pronounced. Now, when will it be pronounced and when will it be silent? That's what we are going to look at. Now, I want you both to first read these two words which are given on the screen quickly. Proceed.
Bread and butter. Bread, butter.
Butter.
Okay, bread and butter. That's how we will pronounce it. Now, if you observe, we already know what are consonants and vowels. Correct? Vowels are the letters A, E, I, O, U.
You.
Correct? And all the other letters are consonants.
Concept.
Correct? Now, whenever our letter R comes after a vowel sound, in a word, it will be kind of silent. Okay, and whenever the letter R comes after the consonant or at the start of the word, then it will be pronounced, it will be stressed, and we will have a sound of it. Okay, now to make it easier for you guys, I would say whenever it comes at the end of the sentence, end of the word, sorry, whenever it comes at the end of the word, for example, the word car, the word water, okay, these kind of words will again not have the sound of letter R. यहीं पर हम ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस करते हैं, तो वो हमें याद रखना है कि ये जब भी वर्ड्स आएंगे आर के साउंड पे हम स्ट्रेस नहीं करेंगे. Okay, another trick that will be easier for you is whenever it comes at the start of the sentence, start of the word, sorry, I'm saying sentence again and again, start of the word, it will be pronounced. Okay, बाकी हम properly pronounce करते हैं बाकी टाइम पे, बट जस्ट रिमेंबर कि अगर वो वावल के बाद में आता है या फिर एंड ऑफ द वर्ड में आता है तो वो साइलेंट रहेगा. So we will say rat, rice, pretty, strain, cry, story. Okay, but we will say car, coat,
With.
learn,
Learn.
shorter,
Shorter.
Shorter.
store.
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 ओके, स्टो, आर पूरा सायलेंट आहे, प्रनन्सिस नाही
Store.
करायचं आहे आपल्याला. त्याचा साऊंड असतो, एकदम स्लाईट साऊंड असतो त्याचा, पण आपल्याला ना तो सायलेंट समजूनच चालायचं आहे आतासाठी.
Mm-hmm.
ठीक आहे, तेव्हा ते आपलं मदर टंग इन्फ्लुएन्स कमी होईल. If we try to make that sound, of course we'll look at that sound when we look at the sounds of vowels, but if we try to
No.
make that sound, we happen to pronounce R. Okay, now let us quickly listen to the same what we just pronounced. Okay,
We pronounce it.
rat, rice,
is it audible?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am.
pretty, strain, cry, story,
We do not pronounce it.
car, court, learn, shorter, store,
Okay, now same way, if you look at this conversation, the pronunciations will be, where do you work, Andrea? I work at Thomas Cook Travel. Oh really? What do you do there? आता there नाही म्हणत आहे आपण, there. What do you do there? I am a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America like Peru. आता पेरूचा साऊंड पण आपला पेरू, आपण मराठीवाला पेरू म्हणतो तसा नाही येतो. ठीक आहे, पेरू.
You.
ऑफकोर्स थोडासा रचा साऊंड असेल, पण आपण सायलेंट ठेवायचा प्रयत्न करतोय. नाउ सी,
Fair.
वेन एव्हर रूल्स कम, आपल्याला माहिती सायन्स मॅथ्समध्ये इकॉनॉमिक्समध्ये सगळ्या सब्जेक्ट्समध्ये असतं, रूल्स आले की त्याचे एक्सेप्शन्स पण येतात. द सेम गोज फॉर द वर्ड इंटरेस्टिंग. आता इथे म्हणाल तुम्ही हा वावल नंतर येतोय तर आपण त्याला प्रनाऊन्स का करतोय, तर एक्सेप्शन आहे तो. हाऊ इंटरेस्टिंग. Yeah, it's a great job. I really love it. And what do you do? Oh, I am a student. I have a part time job too. Where do you work? In a fast food restaurant. Which restaurant? Hamburger Heaven. So तो बर्गर नसतो, ठीक आहे, इट्स बर्गर.
It's
Yeah.
burger.
आता आपण काय म्हणतो,
Hamburger.
मी मॅकडॉनल्डला जाऊन बर्गर खाल्ला. That's how we say it's burger.
I
Yeah.
ate the burger.
Yeah. So, of course, now that I have told you, it won't happen immediately. ते अजूनही आपण सेम वे मध्ये pronunciation करणारच, but that's where we have to focus, be aware, and correct ourselves whenever we are speaking. Now, even when we are speaking in our native language, in our Marathi, I would say, with people around us, try to make sure that when you use English words, आता बर्गरला आपण बर्गरच म्हणणार, मराठी वर्ड नाही माहिती आपल्याला त्याला काय म्हणतात ते, राईट? देर माइट नॉट एक्झिस्ट वन ऑल्सो. सो whenever you pronounce these words, try to maintain the same pronunciations even when you're speaking in our native language. Okay, that's where, सी जस्ट बिकॉज आय हॅव टॉट यू, उद्या उठून तुम्ही लगेच काय एकदम करेक्ट प्रनाऊन्सिएशन्स करायला नाही लागणार आहे. दॅट्स वर प्रॅक्टिस कम्स इन टू पिक्चर. You have to keep hammering yourself again and again to pronounce it correctly. You will mispronounce it, but that's where you stop yourself, pronounce it correctly again. Okay, that's what becomes important. Clear? Now
Yeah.
let us quickly listen to the same conversation that we just looked at. We are going to listen to it. Okay.
Unit 2. What do you do? Page 9, Exercise 4, Conversation. Where do you work? Part A. Listen and practice.
Where do you work, Andrea?
I work at Thomas Cook Travel.
Oh, really? What do you do there?
I'm a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America, like Peru.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's a great job. I really love it. And what do you do?
Oh, I'm a student. I have a part-time job, too,
Where do you work?
in a fast food restaurant.
Which restaurant?
Hamburger Heaven.
Okay, now one more rule that you guys need to know is the pronunciations for proper nouns. What are proper nouns? Proper nouns are the names of particular people, cities and places. Okay,
Places.
हे प्रॉपर नाउनच्या कॅटेगरीमध्ये येतं. प्रॉपर नाउन नेहमी कॅपिटल लेटर्सनी स्टार्ट होतात. आता कॅपिटल लेटर्सनी आपले जे स्टार्ट होतात वर्ड, प्रॉपर नाउन्स जे असतात त्यांचे प्रनाऊन्सिएशन्स चेंज होऊ शकतात. Okay, now you might have seen many people around us also and even in movies. काही लोक जय म्हणतात, काही लोक जे म्हणतात. Same word, different pronunciation. So proper nouns kind of have that rule की ते जसं त्या पर्सनला किंवा त्या कंट्रीला पर्टिक्युलर प्रनाऊन्सिएशन पाहिजे तसं त्याचं प्रनाऊन्सिएशन असतं. अँड द प्रनाऊन्सिएशन्स माइट चेंज ऑल्सो समटाइम्स. ओके, सो कीप दॅट ऑल्सो इन माइंड वेन वी लुक ॲट प्रॉपर नाउन्स. क्लिअर?
Yes.
आता निशा हे वर्ड खूप लोक नायशा म्हणून पण प्रनाऊन्सिएशन करतात. सो इट माइट व्हेरी. दॅट्स व्हॉट वी आर सेइंग. या, बट दॅट्स वेअर
Siley, man, we Indians speak Siley, and foreign people they pronounce it as Sayali.
या, सो दॅट्स व्हॉट आय सेड. इट माइट डिफर. आता ते माणसाने जे नाव ठेवलं त्याला ते प्रनाऊन्सिएशन कसं पाहिजे हे पण मॅटर करतं. ठीक आहे, स्पेलिंग सेम असू शकते पण pronunciation might change. So that is where if you ever have a confusion, if you ever come across a word or a name, for example your colleagues, your patients, you might come across people who have different names and different pronunciations. It's good to ask the question, how do you pronounce it? Okay,
Yes.
how do you pronounce it? Spelling तर आपण विचारतोच, how do you spell it? And next thing that we can ask is how do you pronounce it? बिकॉज द प्रनाऊन्सिएशन्स माइट बी डिफरंट. कधी कधी असे पण वर्ड्स येतात जसे की आपल्याला प्रनाऊन्सिएशन माहीत नाही. आता जेसन ऐकलं असेल तर ठीक आहे, नसेल तर नाही माहिती आपल्याला कसं प्रनाऊन्स करतात ते. सेम थिंग गोज फॉर अँड्रिया. आता आपण पुढे अजून वेगळे वेगळी नावं बघू विच आर काइंड ऑफ फॉरेन नेम्स. सो इफ यू डोंट नो यू कॅन सिम्पली आस्क हाऊ डू यू प्रनाऊन्स इट. ओके. Okay, moving to the next part. Here we are going to listen to the second part of the conversation. Now this part we are just going to listen. You do not have the script of it on the screen. You're just going to listen to the conversation and you're going to tell me what does Jason do exactly. म्हणून की त्यांनी आपल्याला इथे फक्त सांगितले की he works in a fast food restaurant. We don't know what work he does exactly. So what does he do exactly over here, and along with that how does he like his job. तो question अजून एक तुम्ही मला त्याचा आन्सर सांगा. Okay, I'll play the conversation.
Page 9, Exercise 4, Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What does Jason do exactly? How does he like his job?
What do you do exactly? Do you make hamburgers?
No, I don't. I'm a cashier. I just take orders.
And what's it like there? Do you like your job?
Sure, it's fun. And I get free hamburgers too.
Okay. So what does
तो उसने
Jason
लास्ट में क्या बोला? आई गेव फ्री
I
हैमबर्गर.
I get free
Get.
hamburgers too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now what does Jason do exactly?
He's a cashier there.
Okay. Very good. And how does he like his job, Nikhil?
He loves his job and he gets some free burgers also.
Very good.
2 free burgers daily, I
Okay,
think.
yes, yes. If you guys know, in MacD also they get free burgers. Okay, I guess they have some limitations, but not only burgers, they are allowed to eat other food items also. That's what I know. Okay, so if you have friends, you can ask them to get some burgers for you next time. Yeah, working in MacD. I don't know about other food chains, but I know about MacD. Yeah. Okay, moving to the next part.
Page
You guys must have observed that the sentences that we made over here were not very common sentences. Usually जसं मी म्हटलं आपण जेव्हा इंडियामध्ये इंग्लिशमध्ये बोलायचं झालं तर आपण आय एन जी फॉर्म खूप जास्त यूज करतो विच इज आर प्रेझेंट कंटिन्यूअस टेन्स बट ing form cannot be used for everything that we are trying to talk about. For example, common mistake that people make, I'll tell you. If I ask, what do you do in the morning? Many people will say, as soon as I'm waking up, I am drinking coffee.
Mm.
Correct? Now that's how they will reply to it. Is it a correct sentence? Why not?
He's adding ing in everything. Waking is what you say, elaborating the things, means elaborating the word. Adding ing gets elaborated there.
Okay.
I woke up and I drank coffee.
I wake up and I drink coffee because I'm
Ah,
asking about a repeated action, a habitual action over
yeah.
here. Okay, our ing, which we are going to look at in fifth unit, it is used for something that we are doing at the moment of speaking. आत्ता जे आपण करतोय ना ते बोलण्यासाठी आपण
Uh-huh.
present continuous use
Yes.
करतो, ing form use करतो. For example, if someone asks you what are you doing right now, you can say I'm attending the class. Okay,
Yes.
because you're doing it right now. Okay, but simple present tense is used to talk about repeated actions or habitual actions. आता मी जो क्वेश्चन विचारला होता तो हॅबिच्युअल ॲक्शनचा होता की सकाळी
Mhm.
उठल्या उठल्या तुम्ही काय करता. Okay, so it was a repeated action or a habitual action, we could say. So you will say, as soon as I wake up, I drink coffee. Okay, so it could be said in simple present tense. Now that's the first usage of it. Same way, we can also use it to talk about someone's routine on a particular day. Now usually we have a different routine on weekends, so we can use simple present tense and we can talk about it. Example, on Sunday mornings I get up at 5 o'clock, I take a cup of tea and then go for a walk. At 8 I take my breakfast and then I go through my meals. That is how I will say it. Okay, along with that, if I'm talking about permanent truths and scientific facts, permanent truths are the things basically we cannot change. For example, sun rises from the east, can we change that?
No.
So we will use simple present tense to talk about it. Same way, if you are talking about scientific facts, you will use simple present tense again. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, again we cannot change it, it's kind of a permanent truth or a universal truth, but to specify it we can say in the category of scientific facts. We also use it for future events, but it is kind of confusing if we try to use simple present tense for future events. The rule is that it needs to be a repeated action and ती एक time आपण ती action करतोय, then we can use simple present tense. For example, the train leaves every day at 1 a.m. but I am taking that train today, so I will say my flight or my train takes off tomorrow at 1 a.m. Okay, so it's kind of complicated, so we have to remember the first three rules that I told you. First one is it's used for a repeated action or a habitual action, or to explain person's routine, or to talk about permanent truths and scientific facts. Now the main thing that we need to understand over here is how to frame our sentences in simple present tense. Now you guys might know already that whenever we make sentences in English, the sentence structure that we follow is subject, verb, object. Okay, now why this becomes important? Whenever we try to speak in English, the method that we use is ट्रान्सलेशन मेथड. आपण काय करतो की पहिले आपले सेंटेन्सेस आपण मराठीमध्ये बनवतो, मग त्याला आपण इंग्लिशमध्ये ट्रान्सलेट करतो आणि मग त्याला आपण उच्चारतो. बरोबर. आता काय होतं की जेव्हा सेंटेन्सेस छोटे असतात ना, इट्स फाईन, वी आर एबल टू पुट इट इन अ प्रॉपर सेंटेन्स स्ट्रक्चर. बट वेन इट इज अ बिग सेंटेन्स, that's where we make a mistake. Okay, for example, today what are you going to teach in the class? Is this a correct sentence structure? Today what are you going to teach in the class?
Mm.
Is this
Yes.
the correct sentence?
Yes.
Today, what are you teaching in the class?
Yes, it is correct.
Yes.
Are you sure? Now when I ask this, you guys will say no. I know that it's not.
Today,
It's
today,
not.
what will you be teaching in the class?
It's not a correct sentence structure because the word today should come at the end. ओके.
Oh, okay.
या आता आपण हे का असं करतो ते पण सांगते मी. आपण मराठीमध्ये बोलताना काय म्हणतो, आज आपण काय शिकणार आहोत, तर
Mm.
आपण आज आधी टाकतोय. तर त्याचमुळे आपण जेव्हा इंग्लिशमध्ये पण सेंटेन्स बनवतो तेव्हा सेम वेमध्ये आपण तिथेच तो वर्ड प्लेस करतो. सो इट बिकम्स इनकरेक्ट वर्ड ऑर्डर और द रॉन्ग सेंटेन्स structure that we can say. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is the reason what we have to do is whenever we make sentences in English, we have to follow the pattern, that is subject verb object, and make sentences directly in English instead of using the translation method. Translation method is not bad, but it is time consuming and there are more chances of error in that. Now see, we know दी लँग्वेज. ओके, असं नाही आहे की आपल्यासाठी ही फॉरेन लँग्वेज आहे. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स आपण मराठीमध्ये पण बोलतो तेव्हा अर्ध्याहून जास्त तर आपण वर्ड्स इंग्लिशच यूज करतो. ठीक आहे, तर असं तर नाही आहे आपल्यासाठी की आपल्याला ही लँग्वेज अजिबात माहीत नाही आहे. इट्स जस्ट
Mm.
दॅट वी नीड टू मेक शुअर दॅट वी आर वेन वी आर मेकिंग दिस सेंटेन्स वी आर फॉलोइंग दी करेक्ट वर्ड ऑर्डर. ओके, आता हे जे टुडे, येस्टरडे हे सगळे वर्ड्स असतात ते आपण कसे यूज करायचे हे आपण पुढे बघणारच आहोत. पण आतासाठी आपल्याला बेसिक सेंटेन्स कसं बनवायचे ते समजून घ्यायचे. सो द सेंटेन्स स्ट्रक्चर दॅट वी फॉलो इज सब्जेक्ट, verb and object. Subject is the main thing that we are talking about. Verb is the action word which is telling us what action we are doing, and object is the part which gives us more information. For example, I can say I am teaching, but what am I teaching? That becomes the question. Correct? When I say I am teaching English, it becomes better. So the word English is the object part over here which gives me more information की मी काय शिकवत आहे. ठीक आहे. ऑफकोर्स आपण सब्जेक्ट आणि वर्बनी पण बोलू शकतो, बट इफ वी ॲड दी ऑब्जेक्ट द सेंटेन्स बिकम्स बेटर. ओके, नाव this is the sentence structure that we follow in simple present tense also, but sometimes with verbs we add s or es. जे आपण exercise केली, if you guys remember, we said she cares for patients, a nurse cares for patients in a hospital. Correct? So आपण इथे s add करतोय verb ला. Example, another example if I give, I will say I drink coffee every day, you drink coffee every day, but I will say she drinks coffee
Oh.
every day. Now for this we need to understand three people who are involved in a conversation. Who are the three people involved in a conversation? First person, second person and the third person. First person is the speaker. आता मी बोलत आहे तर मी स्पीकर आहे. ओके, सो व्हाट आर द वर्ड्स दैट आई विल यूज? आई विल यूज I when I'm speaking about myself, or I will use we. Correct? I will say I am speaking, we are learning. So singular मध्ये मी I यूज करते आणि प्लुरल मध्ये मी we यूज करते. सिंग्युलर काय? एकवचन आपल्याला माहिती आहे, आणि प्लुरल म्हणजे अनेक वचन. राईट? माझी मराठी एवढी चांगली नाही आहे. इफ आय से समथिंग रॉंग प्लीज करेक्ट मी, आय हॅव नो प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, then
Yes.
it's the second person. Second person is the listener. Now you guys are listening to me, so you are the listener. आणि मी कोणता वर्ड यूज केला? You.
You.
Okay, so even for singular I will use you, even for plural I will use you. Then comes third person. Now third person is the person who is maybe not involved in the conversation most of the time, but we are talking about that person. For example, we can say Surekha ma'am is in the class, but she does not have her camera on. So here we are talking about Surekha ma'am. Correct? So She might be involved in the conversation or might not be involved in the conversation, but we are talking about her. So that person becomes the third person. Yeah. So third person is the person basically that we are talking about. ते कॉन्व्हर्सेशन मध्ये असू शकतो किंवा नसू शकतो, ते व्हेरी करेल डिपेंडिंग ऑन द सिच्युएशन. बट अगेन थर्ड पर्सन मध्ये पण दोन टाईप येतं, दॅट इज थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर अँड थर्ड पर्सन प्लुरल. थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर म्हणजे एका पर्सन बद्दल आपण बोलतोय. थर्ड पर्सन प्लुरल म्हणजे आपण दोन किंवा दोनहून जास्त व्यक्तींबद्दल बोलतोय. ओके. नाव third person singular is important for us. All the rules, most of the rules in our grammar change with third person singular. Okay, so the way I said, I drink coffee, you drink coffee, she drinks coffee, and they drink coffee. तर आता इथे फक्त शी सोबत आपण एस ॲड केलाय वर्बला, बाकी सगळ्यासोबत वर्ब ॲज इट इज राहिला. करेक्ट. दॅट इज द रिझन थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर बिकम्स इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर अस. हा टर्म थोडासा तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवावा लागेल, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग दॅट आय विल बी रिफरिंग टू अगेन अँड अगेन. थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर आहे ना असं मी तुम्हाला म्हणेन जेव्हा आपण तुम्ही सेंटेन्स रॉंग बनवाल. सो यू माइट हॅव टू रिमेंबर दिस टर्म, third person singular. Okay, first person, second person, it remains the same, so the rules do not change much with that. Okay, so I will say I work in dash dash company, you work in dash dash company, but I will say he works
Works.
in dash dash company. Okay, I take coffee, you take coffee, she takes coffee. I eat an apple every day, she eats an apple every day. नाव सेम वे आपण नेगेटिव्ह सेंटेन्सेसमध्ये, आता पॉझिटिव्ह सेंटेन्स असतात, मग नेगेटिव्ह सेंटेन्स असतात आपण जे बोलण्यामध्ये सगळ्यात जास्त यूज करतो, अँड देन असतात इंटरोगेटिव्ह सेंटेन्सेस. ओके. पॉझिटिव्ह सेंटेन्सेस आपले सकारात्मक सेंटेन्सेस, नॉर्मल सेंटेन्सेस. वेन आय से आय एम सुस्मिता, इट्स अ नॉर्मल सेंटेन्सेस. बट वेन आय से आय एम नॉट प्रसाद, दॅट इज अ नेगेटिव्ह सेंटेन्स, नकारात्मक जे आपण म्हणतो. अँड देन येतं आपले क्वेश्चन्स. हे आपण कॉन्व्हर्सेशन्समध्ये सगळ्यात जास्त सेंटेन्सेस यूज करतो. ऑफकोर्स देर आर मोर टाइप्स ऑफ सेंटेन्सेस, बट दीज आर यूज्ड व्हेरी ऑफन इन अ कॉन्व्हर्सेशन. Then we have interrogative sentences, as I said. Interrogative sentences are the questions that we ask. Now, when we ask questions, there are two types of questions that we have. First is a yes and no question, and the second one is a WH question. Now, I will ask some questions. You guys try to answer. Prasad, where do you live?
I stay in Magapatta.
Okay, hold on to that answer. Dr. Nikhil, do you live in Pune?
No, I don't live in Pune.
Okay, now see how the answer changed. When I ask where do you live, Prasad gave me an explanatory answer over here. Correct? That I live in Magarpatta. Now, तो तिथे म्हणू शकला असता का येस
नाही.
आय लिव्ह इन पुणे किंवा येस आय लिव्ह इन मगरपट्टा? नाही, तो आन्सर
नाही.
तिथे रॉंग झाला असता. आता
हम्म.
सेम वे मी जेव्हा डॉक्टर निखिलला प्रश्न विचारला, डू यू लिव्ह इन पुणे, तिथे तुम्ही म्हणू शकले असते का आय लिव्ह इन पुणे फक्त? नाही.
No.
द आन्सर कॅन ओनली बी येस ऑर नो फर्स्ट, आणि मग त्याच्या पुढे तुम्ही ऍड करू शकता.
सो हा 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 एक तुम्ही त्याला विचारलं की तू कुठे राहतो, लाईक तू पुण्यात राहतो का, इट्स द क्वेश्चन टाइप.
हा,
अँड यू आर आस्किंग मी तू कुठे राहतो, लाईक
एक्झॅक्टली
इन दॅट सेंटेन्स आय नीड टू लाईक मेन्शन वेअर आय एम स्टेइंग.
एक्झॅक्टली. सो जो मी प्रसादला विचारला तो होता WH क्वेश्चन. ठीक आहे. आणि जो मी डॉक्टर निखिलला विचारला तो होता येस अँड नो क्वेश्चन.
नो क्वेश्चन.
ठीक आहे. द आन्सर कॅन ओनली बी येस or no over there. Do you go to school every day? You can say yes I do or no I don't. But when I ask you when do you go to school every day, you will say I go to school in the morning. So the explanatory answer will be there. ठीक आहे. these are the three main types of sentences that we have, आणि इंटरोगेटिव्ह मध्ये दोन वेगळे टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन्स जे आपले येतात. ओके. आता नेगेटिव्ह मध्ये आणि इंटरोगेटिव्ह मध्ये आपण यूज करतो डू आणि डज इन आर सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्स. I will say I don't go to school every day, you don't go to school every day, he does not go to school every day. आता इथे मी डज नॉट यूज करते आणि माझा वर्ब ॲज इट इज राहतोय. वर्बला मी परत एस नाही ॲड करत आहे, म्हणून की जो आपल्याला एस ॲड करायचा आहे तो आपण ऑलरेडी डूला ॲड केला आहे, विच इज आर ऑक्झिलरी वर्ब, हेल्पिंग वर्ब त्याला आपण म्हणतो. त्याचं काही फंक्शन नसतो, गोच आपला मेन वर्ब आहे इथे. okay, which is giving us the information. Does फक्त helping part आहे, it's just helping us to frame the sentence. It does not have any other meaning over there as such. ठीक आहे. आता what do you do हा क्वेश्चन जेव्हा आपण विचारतोय तेव्हा डोंट डू येतात. तर हे एक डू जो आपला आहे तो सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्स सेंटेन्स स्ट्रक्चरसाठी आहे आणि दुसरा डू जो आहे तो मेन वर्बवाला डू आहे. असंच आपण हॅव पण 2 वेळा सेंटेन्समध्ये यूज करतो. एक्झाम्पल, आय हॅव हॅड माय लंच. ठीक आहे. सो एक हॅव आहे तो टेन्सवाला हॅव आहे. सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्समध्ये नाही येत, तो प्रेझेंट परफेक्टमध्ये येतो, जे आपण पुढे बघणार आहोत. डोंट गेट कन्फ्युज्ड. आणि हॅड आपण म्हणतोय की मी खाल्लं म्हणून. Okay, so these kind of sentences are also made, and understand this also that whenever we use auxiliary verbs, many of the auxiliary verbs can be used as main verbs also. Do's a meaning as it is पण असतो, same way have the meaning as it is पण असतो. ठीक आहे. सेम वे इज चा मीनिंग ॲज इट इज पण असतो. हे आपण टेन्सेसमध्ये जास्त यूज करतो, बट दे आर यूज्ड ऑन देअर ओन ऑल्सो. ओके, ते आपण पुढे परत एकदा बघू युनिट 5 मध्ये जेव्हा आपण प्रेझेंट कंटिन्युअस टेन्स करू. Yeah, so I will say I don't go to school every day and he does not go to school every day. And for questions we will start with do or does depending on the subject that follows. So I will ask, do you go to school every day and does he go to school every day. So he आहे थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर. सो आपला क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट होतोय डजनी आणि परत वर्ब ॲज इट इज राहतोय. वर्बला आपण परत एस ॲड नाही करत आहे. ठीक आहे. सेम वे इफ यू आर आस्किंग डब्ल्यू एच क्वेश्चन्स वी विल स्टार्ट विथ डब्ल्यू एच क्वेश्चन वर्ड्स. आता डब्ल्यू एच क्वेश्चन वर्ड्स कोणते कोणते असतात? वॉट, वेअर, हू,
When
वेन, whom, whose, how. हाव पण डब्ल्यू एच क्वेश्चन वर्डमध्येच येतो. ठीक आहे. सो आय विल से वेन डू यू गो टू स्कूल अँड वेन डज शी गो टू स्कूल. ठीक आहे. तर ही, शी, इट जर आपल्या आलं सेंटेन्समध्ये तर आपण डज यूज करतोय, किंवा पॉझिटिव्ह सेंटेन्समध्ये आपण नुसता एस ॲड करतोय वर्बला, किंवा ई एस अकॉर्डिंग टू द स्पेलिंग रूल्स दॅट वी हॅव. ठीक आहे. आता हीचा मिनिंग आपल्याला माहिती आहे. ही इज यूज्ड फॉर मेल्स, शी इज यूज्ड फॉर फीमेल्स, इट इज यूज्ड फॉर नॉन लिव्हिंग थिंग्स अँड ॲनिमल्स, अँड इट इज ऑल्सो यूज्ड टू रिफर टू द वर्ड ऑर अ नाउन बेबी. बेबीसाठी पण आपण इट यूज करतो till the time we don't know the gender of the baby. Once we know the gender of the baby, we'll say he or she. Same goes for animals also. Till the time we don't know the gender of the animal, we'll refer to it as it, and once we know the gender, we'll say he or she. ठीक आहे. तर हे अजून एक इम्पॉर्टंट होऊन जातं. सेम वे फिटस आणि एम्ब्रिओज आपण हा वर्ड यूज करतोय, त्याला पण आपण इट अज यूज करतो. Many people might not agree with it, but that's the term that we use, okay, because we don't know the gender of it. Yeah. Clear with this part?
yes,
Okay. Let's look at examples, then you can write down the rules. If I ask, what do you do? You will say, I am a student. I have a part-time job too. Where do you work? I work at Hamburger Heaven. Where do you go to school? I go to the University of Texas. So हे first person आणि second person मध्ये झालं. आता third person. What does Andrea do? She is a guide. She takes people on tours. Where does she work? She works at Thomas Cook Travel. How does she like it? She loves it. ठीक आहे. That's how we make the sentences. Now quickly write down the rules. फक्त रूल्स लिहा. एक्झाम्पल स्किप करू शकता बिकॉज आपल्याला एक्सरसाइज पण सॉल्व्ह करायची. फक्त रूल्स लिहा. एक्झाम्पल्स तुम्हाला नोट्समध्ये पण भेटून जातील, पण तरी क्लासमध्ये लिहायचंच आहे. ठीक आहे. जस्ट बिकॉज यू गेट द नोट्स दॅट डज नॉट मीन दॅट यू डू नॉट राईट. यू स्टील नीड टू राईट इन द क्लास, बिकॉज वेन वी राईट वी रिमेंबर इट फॉर अ लॉंगर टाईम. आणि सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्स इज समथिंग दॅट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर अस. हे आपण परत 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 बघणार आहोत. Tomorrow I might not be available. I'll message you guys, okay? But I'll be taking the session on Saturday instead. जे उद्याचं आपलं सेशन मिस होतंय ते मी सॅटर्डेला घेईन.
okay.
टेल मी वन्स यू आर डन रायटिंग. फक्त रूल्स लिहा स्वतःच्या वर्डमध्ये, वर्ड टू वर्ड लिहायची गरज नाही आहे. ठीक आहे.
Done now.
Done? Okay, next.
Yeah, done now.
Okay. Write this down quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Just write down the sentence structures again over here. You can skip the examples again. Done?
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Last. Write it in short. You can just write subject के लिए S and you can just write V1 and object के लिए O. Just remember what you have written.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now try doing this exercise. Over here, you just have to fill in the blanks with the correct verbs, with the correct sentence structure again. Prasad and Nikhil, tell me once you guys are done. Meanwhile, Sheetal ma'am, Chaitali ma'am, Umakant sir, Shivraj, go through all the tenses that we have learned till now. Simple present tense, present continuous tense, simple past tense.
Okay. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Prasad, Nikhil, done with this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Okay. Have you written down the answers, Dr. Nikhil?
Ma'am, today I don't have page also and pen also. Tomorrow I
Are
will
you in
bring
the
everything.
Are you in the clinic or you at home?
No, I am at home. I don't have anything.
It's okay. It happens. जब लिखने की आदत नहीं
I
होती तो वैसे ही होता
ah,
है.
and I search everything and didn't got anything. It's not a single pencil also, and not even a page also.
No problem. No problem. Make sure you get a notebook or a diary
Yes, yes.
tomorrow. Keep
Tomorrow,
that in mind. Yep.
tomorrow I'll get.
Okay, great. Then tell me the answer for the first one, Nikhil.
Uh, I am a full-time student. I study violin,
Violin. It's violin.
violin, violin, violin.
Hmm.
And where do you go to school?
Very good.
I go to the New York School of Music.
Correct.
Wow. How do you like the classes? How is correct, madam?
Correct.
I love them a lot.
I like them. क्वेश्चन मध्ये
Ah,
लाईक
I
आहे
like.
त्यामुळे
Yes,
लव
yes.
घेऊ
I like.
शकतोय बट क्वेश्चन मध्ये लाईक आहे त्यामुळे दॅट विल बी द बेटर ऑप्शन ओवर हियर
Yes,
ओके
I like them a lot.
वेरी गुड प्रसाद नंबर 2
अब मेरा बाकी है अभी.
जल्दी फिनिश करो फिर
मैंने फर्स्ट ही कंप्लीट किया सो
ओके
व्हाट अभी व्हाट तनाया डू
क्या
तना
आएगा
तनाया डू
अभी
व्हाट इट मीन
जस्ट सेंटेंस
व्हाट
स्ट्रक्चर
शी
लिखा है ना सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर जस्ट लिखा ना WH का डू
व्हाट
नहीं तो डज आएगा करेक्ट दैट इज द सेंटेंस
व्हाट
स्ट्रक्चर
डज तनाया डू
तानिया तानिया डू
तानिया
व्हाट डज तानिया डू शी इज अ टीचर
शी इज अ टीचर शी वर्क एन
टीचर को
आर्ट
क्या
क्लास
करेंगे क्या वर्ब आएगा टीचर है ना
Cheese.
टीचर्स आएगा ना वर्ब दैट्स द करेक्ट वर्ब राइट शी
शी
टीचेस
टीचेस
एन आर्ट क्लास एट अ स्कूल इन डेनवर टेक्स भी आ सकता है बट टीचेस इज द बेटर वर्ब ओवर हियर ओके
टीचेस
एंड व्हाट अबाउट
and
रायन
what about Ryan where she
सेंटेंस
where
स्ट्रक्चर
do he work
हाँ सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर ही है ना ही के साथ में क्या आएगा डज जस्ट हमने देखा ना डज
okay okay okay
वेयर
okay
डज ही
he
वर्क
okay where does he work he work for a big computer
ही
company in
वर्क्स वापस एस
he
आएगा
works for a big computer company in Francisco
कम्प्युटर ओके
computer
आपले जे
computer
वावेल्स असतात ना त्यांचं नेहमी आपण जसं प्रोनाऊन्सिएशन करतो तसं नसतं ठीक आहे वावेल्सचे आपण रूल्स पण गो थ्रू करू एक
computer
वावेल जरी असला तरी त्याचे 4 ते 5 वेगळे प्रोनाऊन्सिएशन्स आहेत तर ओ चा नेहमी ओ साऊंड नसतो ओके अ साऊंड पण येतो त्याला सेम गोज फॉर यू ऑल्सो ठीक आहे ईचं साऊंड पण तसंच आहे तर आपण गो थ्रू करू ते वावेल्स साऊंड दॅट्स व्हेन यू विल अंडरस्टँड इट बेटर ठीक
okay
आहे कम्प्युटर
what
आहे तो
does he do exactly
हम्म,
he's website designer he works fantastic website he
हम्म.
makes fantastic websites
व्हेरी गुड मेक्स किंवा मग डिझाईन्स पण म्हणू शकतो
Designs.
ठीक आहे बिकॉज
okay
डिझायनर आहे ना डिझायनर
yeah okay
डिझाईन्स ठीक आहे
he
ना
designs fantastic
yes
websites yeah.
now same way for homework you guys will make 10 sentences in simple present tense. Nikhil, I'll share the recording with you so you can write down the rules after purchasing a diary or a notebook. Make sure you write down the rules. फॉलो द सेंटेन्स स्ट्रक्चर जसं आपण मॅथ्समध्ये फॉर्म्युला रेफर करतो ना तसे हे फॉर्म्युले आहेत आपल्यासाठी तर ह्यांना यूज करून आपल्याला क्वेश्चन्स आणि सेंटेन्सेस बनवायचे सेंटेन्सेस इझी होऊन जातं क्वेश्चन्समध्ये आपल्याला स्ट्रक्चर्स लक्षात ठेवायची थोडं गरज पडते सो मेक शुअर यू मेक 10 sentences in simple present tense. When I say 10 sentences, 10 in positive, 10 in negative,
Negative.
10 in yes and no question,
Interrogation. Yeah.
10 in WH questions. ओके आणि सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्स पाहिजे जेव्हा सिम्पल प्रेझेंट टेन्स मेंटेन करताय तेव्हा त्याचा रूल पण लक्षात ठेवा स्वतःला हा क्वेश्चन विचारा की रिपीटेड ॲक्शन आहे का हॅबिच्युअल ॲक्शन आहे का किंवा रुटीन आहे का किंवा परमनंट ट्रूथ आहे का ठीक आहे जर हे 3-4 कॅटेगरीमध्ये फिट नाही होते म्हणजे तुमचं सेंटेन्स रॉंग आहे ठीक आहे ते पण म्हणजे थोडंसं क्रॉस चेक करायला स्वतःला अंडरस्टूड
Yes.
आणि फर्स्ट पर्सन सेकंड पर्सन थर्ड पर्सनचे कॉम्बिनेशन पाहिजे सगळे फर्स्ट पर्सनमध्ये सेंटेन्सेस नको आहेत थर्ड पर्सन आपल्यासाठी इम्पॉर्टंट आहे थर्ड पर्सन सिंग्युलर त्याच्यामध्ये जास्त सेंटेन्सेस बनवा ठीक आहे क्लिअर
Yes.
ओके देन आय विल सी यू गाईज टुमॉरो तर नाहीच आहे मी डे आफ्टर टुमॉरो या
Okay.
thank you
ओके
Thank you.
नो
Thank you.
प्रॉब्लेम बाय बाय
Bye bye.
Sureka ma'am, you were there in the class? मला वाटलं तुम्ही बिझी आहात आज म्हणून की मेसेज पण नव्हता आला. सुरेखा मॅम, आर यू देअर? नाही आहे.